Alright, good morning folks, good evening, good day. Hope this video finds you well. I'm going to continue where I left off, and this is the NFL draft. I was working on all 32 teams, but time is running out, so I can't do my usual, so I'm just going to go to the first round and the picks for the first round. So let's pick up where we left off at real quick. If you didn't see the first video, make sure you click on the link at the end of this one to see the first video. So going down, we start with the Chicago Bears, and we are going to the San Francisco 49ers. So we got some players on some cards for you to look at. Earl Cooper, and my pick, that Brock Purdy card is pretty, will be Eli Mostert, defensive tackle, North Dakota State, 6'3", 289 pounds, 30 solo tackles, 23 assisted tackles, and 7 sacks. Will help them on the defensive end of the ball. That's a name I'm not hearing any of the analysts talk about. That's what kind of encouraged me to do this video, because I was watching a lot of the analysts and they were just missing on some of these players. They were going with a lot of the big names, and some of the moves didn't make sense to me at all. Not with everyone, but a few of the analysts, some of the moves didn't make sense at all. I believe you should draft what you need in the first round, and there's several needs out there, but you got to go with the need you need to address immediately in the first round before those players are gone. Anyway, moving on. I told more of that story in my other video. To the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have the 12th pick. There are several running backs that are available. I say they can pick their running back later. You got Irv Mulligan out there. You got quite a few running backs out there to choose from. So I say hold off on getting that running back in the first round. And as we go through some of these past players for the Cowboys and current players for the Cowboys, the pick is going to be here shortly. Kind of gave that one away too a little bit, didn't I? And Micah Parsons. Those are pretty cards right there. I have the Dallas Cowboys. I would pick Nick Nash, wide receiver, San Jose State. 6'3", 195 pounds, 104 receptions, 1,382 yards, 16 touchdowns, averaging 13.3 yards per catch. Cowboys have been always known to have an elite receiver core, and I think Nick Nash will continue that tradition for the Dallas Cowboys. That will be my pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Moving over to number 13 pick, Miami Dolphins. You see some of the former Dolphin players. Look at that right there. It's going to be a surprise on this one here. Lyle Blackwood. Andre Franklin brings back memories. My pick will be James Robinson, offensive lineman out of Valdosta State, 6'5", 325 pounds. I think we need to start getting a lot more serious as far as getting the offensive line correct, so that we don't have these quarterbacks running around here scrambling all the time. I know that's part of the game, but you know, you got too many quarterbacks. You got Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes. You got a lot of different quarterbacks out here that are scrambling, and you got to get an offensive line to protect them and get them time to throw the ball, so they're not out here putting their careers on the line by scrambling for, you know, yards here and there constantly. So James Robinson, offensive lineman, Valdosta State, 6'5", 325 pounds, would be my pick. Valdosta State was one of the highest scoring teams in Division II, I want to say. Well, not Division II, Division I. But they had one of the highest scoring teams out there. And if you're scoring a lot of points and your running backs gaining a lot of yardage, that means you got a good offensive line to go along with that. Moving on, the Indianapolis Colts. You see Anthony Richardson, draft cards. There's Reggie Wayne. There's another Anthony Richardson card. Those elite cards are pretty cool. If you can get your hands on some of those they're pretty cool. They're some of the sweetest cards that I ever bought. And moving on for the Indianapolis Colts, my pick would be, as I said in the previous one that I was doing for the Miami Dolphins, you saw his dad there. This is Oronde Gadsden the second, tight end out of Syracuse, 6'5", 236 pounds, 73 receptions, 934 yards, 7 touchdowns, 12.8 yards per catch. And that would be a great draft pick for the Indianapolis Colts. Remember, I'm looking at what they need more than anything else. So Oronde Gadsden the second, tight end out of Syracuse, will be my pick. And moving down, the Atlanta Falcons, they do need an edge rusher. As you take a look at Bijan Robinson, Andre Rison, R.C. Thielman, again R.C. Thielman, William Andrews, running back, another Bijan Robinson card, and the pick for the Atlanta Hawks will be Josiah Stewart, defensive end edge rusher out of Michigan, 245 pounds, 6'1", 22 solo tackles, 11 assists, 8.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Big guy out of Michigan. He will be my pick at number 15 for the Atlanta Falcons. Moving over, Arizona Cardinals. See some of the older cards from the Arizona Cardinals. And Kyler Murray there in Arizona. Yeah, Jim Hart is one of the coolest cards. He looks like he should be a, I don't know, offensive lineman or something. Otis Anderson. There it is. Kyler Murray. Pick will be Ahmed Hassanien, defensive end edge out of Boise State, 6'3", 272 pounds. If you don't know about him, you better go take a look at him. Man, this is one of the most hardest hitting guys out there. I'm surprised his name is not being mentioned as a prospect in the first round as well. So he's out of Boise State, 6'3", 272 pounds, 28 solo tackles, 20 assisted tackles, 9.5 sacks. And yeah, that would be a great pickup for the Arizona Cardinals in this draft. Go take a look at some of his film, some of his highlights. I mean, the guy can hit. Moving on, Cincinnati Bengals. Take a look at some of their cards, some of their foreign players. Pete Johnson. And continue, there's quite a few. I'd love to see the Bengals win the Super Bowl one year. They keep getting close, but wasn't able to get it done. Lee Johnson. Remember this name right here? Remember that name right there? Alfred Williams. My pick would be James Burgess, cornerback out of Alabama State, 6'3", 186 pounds, 32 solo tackles, 18 assisted tackles, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, 3 passes defended. Yeah, that would be my pick right there. Would be James Burgess out of Alabama State. I mean, it's good to get surprises in the later rounds. That's pretty cool, but it'd be nice to snatch them up earlier so it can. You don't want to hear that story saying, "Man, we were at number 10 and we missed out on him," or "We were at number 21, we could have had him." But yeah, James Burgess is going to be. I think he's going to work out great in the NFL. That's my pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. Moving on over, after the Cincinnati Bengals, you got the Seattle Seahawks. They need an offensive lineman. That's one of their priorities. You can see some of their cards. It's Charbonnet, Jim Zorn, Deotis Brown, Sherman Smith, Steve August, and Kenneth Walker III. I really wanted the Detroit Lions to draft him, but it worked out for the Detroit Lions anyway. But he was one of my top prospects coming out of Michigan State. I hope he has a wonderful career. Pick for them will be Josh Simmons, will answer that question of who should they pick as an offensive lineman. Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, offensive tackle, 6'5", 310 pounds. Moving on, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a 19th pick. We'll take a look at some of their former players. I just wish they would have won that or wore their old jerseys with their old helmet style. They had one of the coolest helmets to me, coolest logos when they went to the Super Bowl with Tom Brady. But there's Hardy Nickerson, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and the pick will be Shaun Dolac, linebacker out of Buffalo. I'm surprised he's not getting a lot of attention from a lot of the media and their draft boards and mock drafts and whatnot, but this is one of the best linebackers out there out of Buffalo. 6'1", 225 pounds. Look at this, 81 solo tackles, 87 assisted tackles, 6 sacks, and 5 interceptions. He's going to be one of the steals of the draft, whoever drafts him. And like I said, Buccaneers, I would most definitely have him on my board as my number one, as my pick in the first round at number 19. You don't know about him? Take a look at him alongside of Ahmed Hassanien out of Boise State. So take a look at those guys and tell me what you think in the comment section. There are some hard hitters, and this shows to me that he's all over the field and he's aware of everything going on the field. That's Shaun Dolac out of Buffalo. Moving on, number 20. This is my hometown team, the Denver Broncos. Look at some of that 1981 leaders. '79 leaders. And some of the former players. I'm glad they brought back that old style helmet. That Ray Crockett. They've always had a great defensive core. There's John Elway. Upchurch. And my pick, Terrence Ferguson, tight end, Oregon, 6'5", 255, 43 receptions, 591 yards, 3 touchdowns, 13.7 yards per catch. I know there's other tight ends out there that are available, but to me, teaming for Terrence Ferguson up with Bo Nix, again, they have familiarity with each other, which I think will benefit the Denver Broncos. So I will be picking Terrence Ferguson at tight end in the first round at number 20 for the Denver Broncos. Moving on over, got the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in at number 21. Take a look at some of their cards here from back in the day. Put your hands on your hips. Let me dip. You dip, I dip. Okay. Gary Dunn. I know that was kind of corny. Joey Porter Jr. My pick will be quarterback Kyle McCord out of Syracuse, 6'3", 220 pounds, 391 attempts, 391 completions out of 592 attempts. I'm sorry, it's early in the morning, so I'm stuttering on some of this stuff. 4,779 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Yeah, Kyle McCord most definitely will be my first pick at number 21 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we can look at getting some continuity at the quarterback position. And I think you would get that with Kyle McCord. If you haven't seen my other video on the draft picks of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you'll see, go take a look at it, and you'll see another quarterback there as well that I believe they can get their hands on and kind of get things right. It's been a long time since they had a Ben Roethlisberger type quarterback, and Kyle McCord is one who I believe can step in and possibly get them back to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. And the other quarterback that I have for them in their mock draft also. rounding these out on this particular video, and I thanks for your patience here. The Los Angeles Chargers. See some of their old cards here. That's another uniform that I like, is theirs. I like their logo. They haven't really done a lot as far as changing their logo. Hey, how'd you get in there? You're not supposed to be in there. He's looking like, why am I here too? I'm supposed to be over there with the Patriots. And Conway. Pick would be Kyle Kennard, defensive end, edge rusher out of South Carolina. 6'5", 254 pounds, 20 solo tackles, 8 assisted tackles, 1 pass defended, 11.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Playing in that division that they're playing in the AFC West, going up against a bunch of powerhouses there, and I do believe the Las Vegas Raiders are going to be turning things around as well. But you got Patrick Mahomes to worry about, you got a Bo Nix to worry about, Justin Herbert to worry about, and whoever the Las Vegas Raiders wind up using as their quarterback, you got that quarterback to worry about as well, be it Shadir Sanders or any one of the other top quarterbacks out there in the draft. So yeah, you want to start building your edge rush there so you can put pressure on these great quarterbacks that are in that AFC West. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this video, and go check out the first one and keep on the lookout for the next ones as I pick up at number 23, Green Bay Packers, on the next video.